Okay, thank you very much. So let's wait for 2 more minutes, maybe for people that are joining. I don't know what is happening to the people I set to be accepting people, why they are joining late. So the reason why I said we should wait for 5 minutes is because after I have started, I don't want anybody to disturb me again while I don't want anybody to disturb me again when I've started the class. I'm not sure because I gave some people privilege to be adding people, and I don't know what's happening. They've not connected. So I can't promise that because I will be teaching then. So I can't promise that I'm going to admit anybody. I'm sorry. If I see you, I can, well, let me note the name. If I'm not busy, I can add you. But that's why I'm holding up for the next 5 minutes to accept everyone. So while we are waiting for others, let me make this announcement again. From next week, we are going to be in the 5th week. So which means we are having 2 more weeks to go after next week for lectures. So which means we are having 2 more weeks to go. So please, like I said in the morning that, yeah, Daniel, will you be able to accept the person now? I can see that you have entered. Daniel
Yeah,
Isaac.
yes, I should. I should be able to accept now.
Yeah, let me see if you can accept. Just go to the people and accept the lobby. Just accept.
All right.
All right. So as I said in the morning for in the announcement that I need some of you to do, like, if you have gained something in this training, I need a video PR to you. Some of you have chatted me, but a number of you have not chatted me. So except you want me to be, I know some of you personally. So except you want me to be chatting you personally, and I force you that you have to do it. So after this class, chat me up. All right? Please. After this class, just chat me up that you want to, you are interested in doing a video PR. All you just need to do is just to mention your name and just say, oh, the training has helped me. I have learned this and this in the training. And that's why I say you should chat me up. I'll tell you what to say in the video. Except you have not enjoyed the class. If you have not enjoyed the class, raise up your hand. Let me see anybody that will raise up their hand. So if you have not enjoyed the class, raise up your hand. So nobody is raising up their hand. So that means I expect all of you to chat me after the class. Anyway, let's start the class. So can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, can you see my screen? Put it in the chat box if you can see my screen. Put it in the chat box if you can see my screen. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go to the SQL. MySQL Workbench. So today, last week, we looked at the aggregations in SQL, the aggregation of data in SQL. So today, this one is very, very important because you are going to be joining tables together, because you are going to have different tables in an organization where you are working. You are going to have different tables. So now, for example, this is like an employee table now, an employee schema. We have the departments, just like it's still the same database we've been using. We have the departments, we have the debt we have the department manager, we have the employee table, we have the salary table, and we have the titles table. So, for example, if you are working in a school, you will have the student table, you will have the department table separately, you will have their it's possible that if they put their performance, that is their grade, you have it separately in another table. So if you want to join all these tables together, how do we join the tables together? So we have what we call the inner join. Now we have different ones, but for this class, I'm just going to teach the inner join, the left join, and the right join. So now the inner join is joining tables together. Now, before you can join tables together, they have to have something in common before you can join them together. And what they have in common is the primary key. They have to have the primary key in common. So joining tables together, and you join the tables together, joining tables together, it could be more than one, it could be more than two or more. So it's not only two tables, it could be two or more tables. So joining tables together, and so this will fetch all the tables, all the tables of both tables. Fetch all the columns of both tables. But for the left join will only fetch the left table. If you are interested in only the left table, I will explain it, don't worry. I'm just giving this definition. This one will fetch only the right table. Of course, they have to have something in common. So let me explain what they have to have in common to you. So let's try to look at department and department emp table and look at what they have in common. Now, if you look at department here, this is the column for department, depth number, and depth name. And let's look at depth emp. Let's look at the column. We have employee number, depth number, from date, and to date. Now, from here, you can see that they have the department number that is common. What is common here is department number. So you are basically going to join. You are basically going to join based on the department number. So you need to know what each of those tables have in common. And most organizations, they have what we call, is it a journal now? They have what we call like a chart that explains how most tables are joined in their schema. So now select, let's say we want to select the employee number. So select employee number, select the department number, select the department name. So let's assume that this is what we want to select. Now, you can imagine that I've combined two tables together. One is the debt and the other one is the department table. The department table and the debt those are the two tables that I've combined together. I've combined the department table and the debt table together. So how do we join them? So you can start with anyone from the departments. Now, remember I said that you are going to put the schema. The schema is employees. That is the schema. The schema is employees. You need to put the schemas. Now, when you are joining tables together, you need to make use of alias that I taught you. So in SQL, it's not compulsory that you put as. I know that I taught you as, that you can put as, but it's not compulsory that you put as. So let me shorten this department table as dep. So that means that every column I want to fetch from the department table, I have to put this alias in front of it. Now, what are the tables I want to fetch from the department table? I want to fetch the department number and I want to fetch the department name. So I will have the alias to it like that. Now, from employee.department, then I've had the alias. So what do I need to do again? Then I will say inner join. Like I said, let's use inner join first. So from employee number, now the employee number that is here, the employee number that is here, we are getting it from don't forget that we are getting it from the, what's it called? From the department emp table. So inner join, now we are joining it with the debt emp, and I need to give an alias to the debt emp table as well. So I can just put DE as the alias. So what it means is I need to put DE here as well, so that will recognize that what I'm doing here is that. So let me write it here. So this is an alias for department table and alias. So you can either use as, and you can just put a space and put it like that. So I've taught you another method to put alias now. So alias for them. So now, like I said, you need to join on what is common to them, and what is common to them is what? The department number. So you will now copy this debt number equal to don't forget that we made this one DE debt number, that is for this table. This one also has department number, debt number as well. So that is why I have the alias for this and the alias for this. Now, why do we use alias? We use alias to separate the tables that we have, so that we can know. So when somebody is reading your code, the person understands that when you are referring to DE here, you are referring to this table. Anytime you are referring to DE, you are referring to this table. Anytime you are referring to debt, you are referring to the debt number table. So let me run our code now. Yeah, it's going to give error because I have not put the schema for the debt empt table. So when you don't put the schema, it's going to give you an error. Employee.department. Yes, it's departments. So it's saying that the department does not exist. So it's departments. Now, as you can see, through the joining of my tables together, I have been able to join these two tables together. So I can combine the employee number, the department number, and the department name. So if my stakeholder says that, can you help fetch out the department number, the employee number, and their department name for us in the database? So of course, I have joined it together now because the department name is in another table, which is known as the department table. Before I move on, let me see, because I know I've done a lot of technical things. Let me see if I have any question. Yeah, why do we have on? No, if you look at it, I did not use dep dot, I used de dot. Yes, we are joining on. That's the normal syntax. We are joining on. I did not use the dep, I used the alias for the second table. I used the alias for the second table. I used the alias for the second table, de, and I use this one, DEP. I use the alias for the second table. I did not use this. I use the alias for the second table. So is the normal syntax. When you want to join tables together, you have to use on because you are joining on. So what you are joining on, so that on has to be there. Now, remember that SQL is called structure query language. So it is a language, and on is part of the language that we have. On is part of the language that we have. So it is a language. On is part of the language that we have. Do we have any other question? No, the second, now that means you are not getting it. Is the second table not de.emp number? No. Now listen, I said these two tables, before you can join them together, you have to look for what is common to them. Okay, maybe because I'm using this side, let me move away from that. Let's select star from employee departments. So let's look at what are the columns from employee departments alone. Now, these are the columns from employee department. We have department number, we have department name. Now, let's also select and look at all the columns. Let's look at all the columns from the, let me create another SQL, another page, so that I will use it to demonstrate to you. Now, we have employee number here, we have department number here, we have from date to date. Now, between these two tables, what is common to them is the what? The department number. That's the debt number. That is what is common to them. So the columns I just said is the stakeholders that said we should fetch out the employee number, the department number, and the department name. But if we are going to use this debt emp alone, then it is not possible because for this table, there is no department name there. So obviously, we need to join it with the department table. So to now join it, you need what is common between both. And what is common, we have the department number here and we have the department number here. So this is what I did here. DEP is the alias for employee department, and DEP emp table, this is the alias DE, and that is why we have DE here, and that is why we have DEP here. So we are joining on the common, what is common, we are joining on common columns to the common columns that the columns that are common to the table. That's what we are joining on. So employee number is not here. So we can't join it on employee number. You have to join on what is common so that it matches together. Oh, yes, I got it now. Thank you. Very good. Thank you that you have gotten it. That's why I said, let me check, because I know that I might have been too fast, and possibly you might not get it, because if you miss what is inner join, then obviously you will miss what is left join and you will miss what is right join. If you miss what is inner join, you are going to miss what is left join and you are going to miss what is right join. But most of the time, if you have used SQL a lot, we don't normally use right join. I can count the number of times since I've been using SQL that I've used right join, but we use left join a lot. We use left joining a lot. Maybe in my organization and the organization where I've worked, we use left joining a lot. And I will explain, and like I said, just fetch the left table, and right join is just fetch the right table. Now, let's assume, that we are still going to more, I still want to do more on, what is it called now? On inner join. Now look at something. Let's assume that I say that select star. That is, if I select star, I'm still using inner joining. So let me run it. Now you can see that it combines all the columns of all the tables for me, isn't it? It combines all the columns of all the table for me. It combines both columns. That is what inner joining does. And this is what I explained here, that fetches all the column except it was stated. But I deliberately, first of all, started with this because sometimes what you need is just some columns. Now, if you want to use a left join, I will tell you the instances whereby you use left joining now. I will tell you the instances where you use left joining. So if I am only interested in the this first table here, which is the department table alone. If I'm only interested in the department table alone, then I'm going to use left join. So let's try it now. Let me create, remember that this is inner join. So let me create another SQL page and let me change this to left join. And now I still have my star. Now, if you look at the left join here, we have the department number, the department name. Now, the reason why it's still coming out the same here is because this department here, let me not use everything. Let me say it's because I selected all the columns. So let me select just the, I want the department name. I want the department name, okay. And I want the departments, no, and the employee number. So let me put, so for department, we have dep dot, and for the employee, we have de dot. So let me run this now. So here, the left joining and the inner join, they are behaving the same way. Now, let me change this to the right join. And let me change this to star. Yes. Now, the reason why they are behaving the same way is because I'm joining just two tables together. That's the reason why the inner join, the right join, and the left join are behaving the same way. And that's what I want to prove to you. So let's look at other tables and join three tables together. So when we want to join like three tables together, you need to use, because sometimes you are not interested in all the columns of that table, all the columns of the three tables. You are just interested in some parts of one of those tables, and that is what you start with. That's what you start with. So let's look at department manager and look for the column. Now, if you look at department manager here, we have select star. Let's look at department manager, select star from employees dot debt manager. So let's look at the columns that are here. So here you have the employee number, you have the department number, you have the from date, and you have the to date. Now here you can see that the department number is also common. So, and also the employee number is common to the what? To the department emp. To the department emp here. So you can either use the department number or use the employee number. So let me use the, so left join employee debts. So on this, then again, let us left join again, left join employees. Now I'm joining three tables together now. I'm joining three tables together now. Employees dot debt manager. So I still have to put, let me put DM as the alias on. What am I joining on? I'm joining on the department number as well. That is what I'm joining on. I'm joining on the department number. So I say DM dot, or let me join on the employee number, because the employee debt help here is also has the employee number. So DM dot emp number equals to DM. At least you understand what what's it called is. You understand what alias is now. So left join employee number. So here, let me just select the debt name alone. And let me say I want debt dot. So I have joined three tables together now. So it's only bringing out the left join. Now, is this, I don't know what's happening. I think is this the table that is misbehaving, because normally it's just supposed to give me the left tables alone. It's just supposed to give me the left tables alone. That is what it's just supposed to give me. So I don't know why the inner joining, maybe the what we are using here is what is causing it. But what left join is supposed to bring you is just the left table, which is the what I started with here. That is what it's just supposed to give me. That's the difference between the inner join and the left join. That's the difference between the inner join and the left join. Now, for the inner joint, has joined everything together. The right join, let me see if the right join is going to work. Now, so there is no right table set. That's why that's what is complaining. So it's still bringing out these. Now, when you are using, another thing is when you are using inner join, most of the time, it's not compulsory that you use the, what's it called now? It's not compulsory that you put inner. You can just put join alone. You can just put join alone and it's going to join. When you are using the, what's it called? The inner joining. And where the left joining comes into place is if I want just the first table to fetch all the columns in the first table alone, and I don't want to fetch it here. That is how it works on Microsoft SQL Server. So I think is this MySQL Workbench sees left join and inner join as the same thing. That's why organizations don't use MySQL Workbench, because it's just a free stuff. So the way left joining is, it's just supposed to fetch the rest of the columns, and what you have here is just supposed to fetch it out, and the rest of that columns. That is what is supposed to fetch out. So let me put from date, then let me put dm dot from date. Okay, let me put left join. Yeah, I don't know why it's working like that. Inner join. It's doing the same thing. So that's what it is. This column that it is this platform that is doing that, and that is working that. Do you have any question? Where can I reach out to you? Twitter, DM, or WhatsApp? You can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Does it mean we can use alias at the back with the dot or in front of the space? Okay, let me explain the alias to you again. Now, if you to alias a table, it has to be in front. When you want to alias a table, it has to be in front. However, if you want to call out the column, it has to be at the back of that column. You put dots. For example, now let me say DM, because the system has already registered it. So let me say DM dot. You can see that it will bring out it brought out the columns for me. Because what I did here, what I've done here is that I have saved this as the table name, as the alias for the table name. So it will obviously bring it out for me. So the way SQL runs, let me explain the way SQL runs for you. SQL starts running from. So this is how SQL executes. It doesn't start from select. SQL starts its execution with the from command. I mean, concerning this thing now, it starts with the from command. So it first of all looks at this table and store it with this name that I've given here, DE. Looks at this table, store it together, join it together. So the last thing that it does is the selection of the columns. That's the last thing that it does. Since what the last thing it does is to select the columns. So let's try to write a complex query. Let's attempt to write a complex query. So for example, in the salary table, we have the employee number. We have the employee number, we have the salary, we have the from date and to date. So let's take, for example, your stakeholder asks you that, can you help us? Let me write the question here. Can you help us fetch the department's number, the salary, the employee number, and their departments, their department name, their department names, and also, can we also know the can we know their, okay, let's do this first. Can you fetch out for us the department number, the salary, and the employee number and the department name? So how do we go about that? Now, for the salary table, we are only having the employee number, we are having the salary, and so that means we will use number one. We are going to use the salary table, which is obvious. So because we need this employee number there and the salary number there. So then again, they said we should look for the department number, and the department names. The department number and the department names. Now, here is where we have the department number and the department name. But in the salary table, there's nothing that links them together. And so this is where either we use the department emp table to connect it, or we use the department manager table to connect it together. So that means we are joining 3 tables together. So to achieve this now, how do we go about it? So you say select now department number. Look at me, I've not put alias there now. Until I alias the table, that's when I will put the alias. So select the department number, the salary, the employee number, the department name, the debt name, because that's what it is called, the debt name. So let's say from the employees dot departments, and let's call it debt. So in our join, that is in our join, so we are going to join it with the debt emp that is here. So in our join, let's just copy this up here. In our join with debt emp department, and so here now, then I will come back here and come and give those tables alias. So debts, those columns alias, then employee number here, debt name here as debt dot. So here now, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to join it with the salary table as well. I'm going to join it with the salary table as well. So how do I go about that? So all I need to do is also to inner join. I can edit this. So inner join with salaries, with employees dot salaries. So let me call this ES. So this will be ES dot DE. So then I need to come and put ES here and put DE here. So let's run it now. And again, I can put this. So for good practice, so I can put this as department. I can change the name as department number. I can change the name. Okay, let's leave this as salary. I can change the name here as employee number. Ensure that there is no space in between them. Then I can change this also as department name. Department name. What's the error? Yeah, okay, employee departments. Sorry. Departments. I wrote the incorrect table. Salaries. Employees number debt. Oh, there's a mistake. This is supposed to be debt. What's the problem again? Okay. The alias is wrong. Why is it giving error? Select debt dot. Okay, let me run it again. Yeah, so you can see it now. So we have the department number. As you can see, we have the department number, we have salary, the employee number, and we have the department name here. So this is the employee number, this is the department, this is the salary, and this is the department number. So those are the different ways by which you can combine it together, combine tables together, either using the left join or the inner join. All right, I think that has been cleared. The person that was asking that, do we use, person that was asking that, do we use, does it mean we can use alias at the back with dots or in front with space? Okay. Do we still have any other question from joining tables together? Any other questions from joining tables together? So let me go over what we've learned again today. So in your own leisure time, the aggregate that we treated last week, you can go over it again, calculate average salary using the inner joining that we have done, but ensure that you use group by for aggregate functions. If you are doing it for each, you can count the number of employees in this organization. You can write a SQL to count the number of employees in this organization. And let me announce to us that I'm going to be giving the project out on the 6th week. So I'm going to be giving the project out to every one of us on the 6th week. That's when I'm going to be giving the project out to us. And it's going to be a big SQL code for you to write. So, of course, it's going to be on on the database that you have, on that database that we have here. That is what is going to be. So let me do like a quick overview of what I just taught. So I said these are the type of joinings, the major type of joinings. We have the inner join, the left join, and the right join. And I said that if you want to join tables together, there has to be a column that they have in common together. And so when we look at it, we saw that the department column is the same here as the department column as well. And so that was why we joined them together. That was why it was joined together. And so what we first did here is to join two tables together and fetch out the whole column. And secondly, we did here is to join three tables together. Up here, we join three tables together. Sometimes when you are writing code, you can join as many tables as you have together. Even this employee table, we can join all these 5 tables together. Look at it. So for example, if they need the employee first name, let's attempt to join the 4th table. This employee table, let's attempt to join it together with this table. So that will be, let me just copy this. So for example, if they need their first name and last name and their birth date of those employee, they need the first name, last name, and possibly their hiring dates. So how do we go about it? So all you need to do is inner join on employees. So let me change this to employees. And let me call the alias EE. So I'm joining es.employee number with ee.employee number. So let me here. So let me call out so that will be EE dot first name. I don't need to change it because that's clear enough. So EE dot last name and EE dot hire date. So let me run this now. So you can see we have the first name, the last name, and the hire date. So all the ordering I taught you last week, you can put it there. You can, sometimes I could be writing a code and I'm joining more than 20 tables together. All I need to do is to know the common columns between those tables. That is all I need to know the common columns between those tables. So some of the project I'm going to give to you, you are going to join these tables together. You are going to do a lot of ordering. You are going to do ordering. You are going to ascending, descending order. You are going to do different things on it. Okay, we are not having question. So let me be rounding up then. So you are going to do different things on it. You are going to do aggregation. You are going to make use of group by, and you are going to make use of the where clause and everything that I've taught you. So next week, we are going to continue and we are going to write more complex queries, making use of joining, making use of subqueries and the likes, so that you understand you can join as many tables together and also write combining average, combining different aggregations together. So do we have any other question before we round up the class? Any other question? So can you give a reaction if everything is well with you and you understand the class? Let me have our reaction. Even though if you are mute, you can still give a reaction. So let me have our reaction. Not very well. Okay, what did you not understand? We still have 8 more minutes. What did you not understand? Can you type it so that I can explain it again? What did you not understand? We still have 8 more minutes. Just tell me, what did you not understand? I'm ready to explain to you. I'm ready to go over again. So you are the one that you are not typing it now. I'm ready to go over it again. Okay, we need to go through the video again. It's more about the use of the formulas. Okay, yeah, that's why I dropped the YouTube videos. That's why I dropped the YouTube videos. I know that as I'm teaching, you might get it, but you need to practice over and over again. And that's why I said that you need to combine the previous video and this video, then now write even a complex query yourself. And one thing is, when you are writing in the MySQL workbench, if you are already wrong, you can see it will be showing some red colors here. Now, the reason why it's showing red color here is because I have some things up, and so that is why I have to highlight it and run it. That's why I have to highlight it and run it. So you will know whether you are wrong or not when you are typing. You are going to know. So in the absence of no question, I think we can call it a day then. So like I said, please kindly chat me up. If you want to chat me up on Twitter, you can chat me up on Twitter. You can chat me up on WhatsApp. But I need some of you to do what you have gained in the class and if you have enjoyed the class. So thank you very much. I will see you next week, Sunday. Bye for now. Thank you.